Bismillah, assalamu alaikum. This is Malik Bhai. Welcome back. We're going to try to finish the story of Prophet Ibrahim. We still got a couple more, I think at least one or two videos more to go to talk about Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Lot of his life has been covered. So when we said that he was doing hijrah to Egypt, on his way he stopped by Harran. He took his cousin Lut, or nephew Lut, and also of course his wife. What was her name? Sarrah. So Sarrah. So we've learned some of the biblical or English way of saying our names of our prophets. So we know that Ibrahim was Abraham, and now you have Lut, who is Lot, and Sarah, his wife, is Sarah. Okay, these are just Arabic versus English names, okay, or biblical names. So now Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam is going to Egypt, and on his way there, the king finds out that there's a man traveling and he has this beautiful woman with him. Now, I will tell you that Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam had lied only 3 times in his life. A couple of them we already mentioned in the previous lecture. What were those? So give me an example. Yes.
He's wishing the stars down.
When he was what?
Okay, that could be one of them. Yeah, when he's like, oh, this is my God, but that was kind of a lie. Okay. Muslim. Yes, when he was like, I'm sick, but he, when people are like, come on, Ibrahim, let's go and have this festival and we're going to worship the stars and, worship our idols and cheer and whatever. So he's like, nah, I'm sick. But what he really meant was, I'm sick of what you guys are doing. Okay, yes?
And also the statues, how he broke all of those, the little ones and the big ones.
So that was a lie? Then breaking statues is a lie.
And then he says the big one there.
Yep, that's also, yes, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, very good. So 2 of them were in that same incident. One is like where he's like, I'm sick of what you're doing. And then the second time where he's like, the big one did it, okay? And by the way, if you haven't checked out that video, that was a couple of videos before this. And I think the title of that story is The Big One Did It, okay? So make sure you check out that story as well. Now, the 3rd time he lied was right now. What happens is, when they asked him, who is Sarah, what did he say?
She was my sister.
She's my sister. Because if they had said, this is my wife, they would have just killed him. They would have killed him and taken the girl as a hostage. But he's like, no, this is my sister. But in a way, she's sister in Islam. Very good, okay? So now they took her to the king and he was about to touch her, okay? And as soon as he's about to touch her in a bad way, she makes dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And she says, and basically his hand becomes paralyzed. And then she's like, oh my God, if you fix it, I'll let you go. Can you ask your Allah to bring me back? And so she makes dua, and then her hand gets fixed. And then again, he's like, all right, then he tries to grab her again, and she asks Allah to take care of him. Okay, she asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to take care of him, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes care of him by paralyzing him again. And then same thing, he's like, hey, if you ask Allah to do this, I'll let her go. So this happened like 3 times, and then he was like, no, man, this girl must be like, she's like possessed by devils or something, right? Like, how can this happen like 3 times? So then he lets her go, and on top of that, to ward off some evil, because that was his belief, right? He's already doing something bad. I mean, he's the evil one here. But to ward off that evil, what he does is he gives her a gift. Do you know what that gift was?
Yes, it was this other woman.
Other woman? What was her name?
Hajar.
Hajar. Very good. Okay. Which Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam ends up marrying. Okay. So we know this is totally normal. You guys have already been talked about it. That in Islam we're allowed to have more than 1 wife, maximum 4. But in this case, Prophet Ibrahim, he's already a very old man, okay? And he doesn't have any kids. And we know Sarrah, or Sarah, is also getting old, and she's not even able to have any kids anymore. And or maybe she can. Maybe this is way before when she was young, right? But she doesn't. She's not able to have any kids later on, of course. And then when she gets old. But right now, she can't have any kids, so Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam ends up marrying the gift that was given to her, which was Hajar. Okay, so now they start living, and who is born? Ismail alayhi salam. Now that's the key story here. Prophet Ismail alayhi salam is born. Now this is Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam's first child when he is super old. Okay, so now when the Ismail is born, so then one day he's like, all right, Hajar, my wife, let's go for a trip. So he takes Hajar alayhi salam, takes Ismail, his newborn baby, and then they go for a trip. They keep walking and walking. They're all the way from like Egypt area or wherever they were living now, right? And they go all the way to Mecca. Now, Mecca at that time is this barren land, okay? There's nothing around there. There's no people, and all it is just nothing. Plain land. It's a valley, okay? Valley is an area in between two mountains, okay? So there's mountains all around, and there's nobody here. But we already know that that area was holy since beginning of time, and we'll find that out, okay? So he then he you know what he does? He leaves his wife and newborn child in the middle of the valley and gives them a bag of dates and starts walking. And water? Okay. All right. So then as he's walking away, she's like, where are you going? By the way, that water is not going to, if he did give some water, it's not going to last very long. But I would say it's like no more than 1 day worth of food. So she's like, where are you going? And he doesn't reply. And she keeps on asking, where are you going, Ibrahim? Where are you going, Ibrahim? And after third time or so, like when she kept on asking, she's like, did Allah command you to do this? And he turns on and says, yes. And then all she says is that then Allah will take care of us. She has this belief, okay? So then she runs out of food, and you know how she was still a nursing mother, meaning she's still breastfeeding her child, who is Ismail. And now Ismail is hungry. Okay, you guys don't get your snack for like in the middle of that, midday or afternoon snack, and you guys go crazy, right? And like, oh my God, this newborn baby hasn't had any food, right? And he's just curling and he's just crying. I imagine what goes on to mothers, what a mother with nobody around in the middle of the desert is heat, right? She doesn't even have a shade, and there's no trees that she can hide under. And then there's this baby who's crying. She can't breastfeed him because she ran out of her own food, right? She has to eat to produce milk to give milk to the baby, but baby is not able to have anything. So this is tough times, and no one to call for help. So then she's like, all right, let me see if I can find somebody. So there's these two hills, okay, by the name of Safa and Marwa. So she goes to Safa and looks around, doesn't see anyone, runs down, like fast speed, and then goes up again to Marwa. And then Safa, Marwa, does that like 7 times looking around. And after the 7th time, when she is on the hill of Marwa, right, she just she did that like 7 times, and she couldn't find anyone. So here's the thing, she hears a voice, okay? And now even today, when you're on top of the Safa Marwa mountain, if you look, you can see Kaaba. I think there's walls around it now, but it's very clear view of Kaaba. But that's not where Prophet Ismail alayhi salam was. He was in the area where now is the ZamZam well, okay? So Prophet Ismail alayhi salam is sitting, and she hears this voice, and she saw where her helpless child was. There was water flowing from his footsteps, because the angel was sent down from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he was digging under the feet, right? So wherever Prophet Ismail alayhi salam's feet were, water started gushing out. So now she didn't want it to overflow, right? So she runs down to the area where the water was coming out, and she started like collecting it, right? Kind of like she didn't want it to overflow, because she's worried that if it keeps on overflowing, maybe we will run out of water. So she keeps on like just kind of makes a little area to kind of stop. Maybe she takes the sand or whatever to in the desert to kind of contain the water. And what happens is this: while she's doing that, she's saying ZamZam, ZamZam, right? So because
Zamzam means water.
I think ZamZam means stop. I'll find out the real meaning. If you guys know the meaning of ZamZam, find out. But I'm pretty sure it's around the meaning of stop, right? So she's saying that so the water doesn't overflow. And Prophet Muhammad SAW told us that if she hadn't done that, Makkah would have been river flowing, right? It would be like river flowing in Makkah. Because she did that, the water contained. So now she got her physical needs, which were the water, okay? But she still needs what?
Food.
What else? People. Those are social needs. Okay, you had a question, Mikael.
Wait, I heard that when she was saying Zamzam, like the water started getting smaller, like.
Okay.
Like you said.
Yeah, but the water is still there. Millions and millions of people every year come to Mecca, and that water is not finishing till this day. Okay, so there's a lot of water there. It's a miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before there's nobody there, and now there's water flowing. So she got her physical needs. She still needs social needs. Okay, which is people, right? You can't just have your food and water and shelter taken care of. She doesn't. But I think water is good enough for now, okay? It will nourish her. But now there's birds flowing, okay? Wherever there's water, okay, birds are going to pile up because it's in the middle of the desert. If there's any birds, they're also looking for water. So there's a tribe of warriors, okay, with like swords and all their, war weapons and everything. And they're walking by, okay? And there's a story that we'll find out how this tribe is Arab, okay? They speak Arabic, okay? So now they're walking and they see birds. They're like, okay, there must be water there, right? So they go towards it. Guess who did they see?
They see
Hajar and a baby, a woman without any men around and a child. So then they're like, you know what? They ask a strange question to her. They're like, would you allow us to camp here? You can see these men, soldiers, warriors, but they still had, manners. They had manners. It's not like, who's this woman and child? We don't care about her. We can just kill her, get rid of her. So the strange question is like, would you allow us to, use this water? What do you think? Now, does Hajar want these people to be around? Yes. She's like, okay, soldiers, they're going to protect me. My husband is not with me. And on top of that, I need some social life, right? So she says, yes, but the water will belong to me, right? So she negotiates with them. She's like, no, yeah, you guys can stay. Go ahead, use this water, but this well belongs to me. And what do you think they said?
They said, okay.
They're like, okay, we agree to those conditions. And that is how a settlement started in Mecca, okay? And basically now Jurham tribe ends up establishing there. Prophet Ismail al-Islam ends up growing with them. He learns their language, which is Arabic, and he ends up marrying from...
What is your language?
Arabic was their language.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Hajjar's from Egypt.
Because whatever...
Hajjar's from Egypt.
Yeah, Egypt, and Prophet Ibrahim is like from another country. I don't think they were native Arabic speakers, but Prophet Ismail ends up learning Arabic from the tribe of Jurham. And he ends up marrying one of their women when he grows up. And now the settlements, basically Mecca started being established. So here's the thing. Now let's rewind. When Prophet Ibrahim alayhi was leaving, he knows that Allah will take care of him, right? But then he also said, he basically makes a dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay? And that dua is very beautiful. And with that, we will end. He said, okay. So, oh Allah, I have left my family in an infertile land, a land which is just basically you can't grow anything there. So, so then he's like, they may, basically allow my family so they may establish prayer. They make people love them and provide them from fruits. So, till this day, you can see people are coming all over the world there. Allah has made that love of Kaaba very, very strong in our heart. That when you see Kaaba, guys, one day, inshallah, when you will see it, you just can't wait to go back. It just gives you so much peace in your life, right? So that is where we're gonna end with the story about the ZamZam and Prophet Ismail, and how how Mecca ended up being established in that land.